And hello YouTube, this is GSmaniamsmart, and I'm today in a brand new video for tutorials of GS. Now today's tutorial where we talk about Photoshop and how to enhance your photos, make them look a lot better through the use of filters, overlays, and some special effects that you can add to your photos with the layer blending styles to make your pictures, look more professional, to make them look more like they have a mood to it, and such things like that. So here I have a picture from Google here. Nothing really special. I didn't take this myself, but it's a good example to show you some of these techniques. Now, one thing you could do to these pictures to make them look a lot better is to use the filter menu up here, and you could go to lens correction. Now there are several options here you could play with, but the one I'm going to be showing you that's a really good one is if you go to custom, go down to vignette, and you can either add a white vignette if you have like a sort of a dark picture, or you can add a dark vignette if you have a bright, very light picture. And the first little bar here will basically give you the intensity of it, and then this second one right here, you can either make it come out more a little bit, center it more, or you can have it very narrow. So you can play around with these two bars here, and we click OK. You'll see that we get this nice vignette here which focuses on the picture a bit more. Your eyes get drawn into the picture a bit more. You're not focusing on the whole entire picture, you're focusing more on the subject of the picture, which are these fences and the mountains in the background, and not so much the random grass in the left. So this is one thing you could do to enhance your pictures. But one of the things I really want to show you is photo filters and overlays. Now these can be really great and powerful tools and techniques to really add mood to your picture, or to give some sort of emotional feeling towards your pictures. Now to do this, you're going to go to Layer, New Adjustment Layer, and go down to Photo Filter. Now here you can just don't worry about anything here, just click OK. Now as you can see here, you're given, let me just move this out here, I don't want this part of, there we go. Now you're given some presets here, and a lot of these will change the way your picture looks. It'll give them these different color filters, which will basically change the way your picture looks. I see if we add a yellow, this makes it look like it's more like a summer day. If we add a green or a dark blue, it makes it look more like a winter day. And you can even change the color that you'd like to use, and it automatically updates for you. So if we use a very dark blue or a very light blue, it makes it look like a winter sort of, compared to if we use compared to if we use a yellow here, or even an orange, it makes it look more summerish. But these are great ways to add some mood to your picture. And if you feel like you need a little more color to it, you can even move the slider here, the density, and you can play around with that and continue to change colors if you need to. But as you can see, it's a clear difference between many of these different colors, and compared to not having a filter at all. So if we go ahead and, the last thing I've done here is preserve luminosity, and what this basically does, it just keeps the light levels from the original picture. So I would highly recommend you keep this box checked. However, you can uncheck it and play around with it and see what you like more. So that's one way of adding some photo filters and some overlays to your picture to enhance them. Another great technique to use is go and delete this layer real quick. Now another great tool to use is finding custom overlays on Google. So if you go on Google and you just type in Photoshop overlays, you'll get many different overlays here and a lot of these look really good. And the purpose of getting these overlays is to basically produce a similar effect to the photo filters that Photoshop has already. Compared to just base colors, you can actually add overlays such as these here that I've collected on my own right here. Now these three are you know, a little more advanced, complex overlays. They're not, you know, they have many different colors to it. So, and this one right here is just a black with a few fireflies. And if we were to overlay this, the black would be completely gone. I'll show you the difference though. Let's go ahead and start with the firefly effect over here. If we go ahead and drag this onto Photoshop, you'll see that this is actually a smart object now. You can now hold down Shift and make this bigger. Hold down Shift on the other end, make it bigger as well. Now, because our photograph is so large, this overlay may not be the best to use. You may want to find a larger overlay of this. But for tutorial purposes, if we were to keep it like this now, you could go into your layer blending options, and you could actually select, where is overlay? Overlay. And we could change the opacity of this. And you'll see we have a nice little firefly effect that is a little bit visible there. You could change several. You could use multiply, doesn't really do anything. You could use screen perhaps. Screen also works very well. The fireflies are a lot more visible here. As you can see, if we toggle it on and off, it's a clear difference. But there are several different blending options here that will work with some overlays. With other overlays, it won't work as well. So, you know, just play around with a few of these, see which ones work. Obviously, with a black background, not much other than screen is going to work, which is kind of the purpose. You know, when you have a black background, you want the screen blending mode to take the black out. So that's one thing you could do. Some other examples that I have here. If we were to take this red, enlarge it, press enter, and say we use multiply. It gives us this nice effect here once again. And if you ever wanted to change the opacity of it, you could do that as well. If we were to use screen, or soft light, but as you can see, many of these work very well. Let's try this rain one. Go and enlarge this a little bit. If we were to use multiply, as you can see, we get a nice rain effect here, which looks really cool. If we use overlay, we'll get that. Screen, a bit too foggy. That was pretty nice. But as you can see, overlays and photo filters can make a huge difference between your photos. So, I mean, it's a great technique to use to enhance your photos, and hopefully you've enjoyed the video. That's going to be it for this tutorial. If you have any questions for some overlays, you know, I know some pictures may not work as well because some pictures may be too dark. They may be a little bit too complex for Photoshop to, you know, blend through. But, you know, highly recommend you to try this technique with either the Photoshop photo filter layer adjustment or with your own photo overlays. You know, just play around the layer blending modes, and you can make some really great enhancement to your photos. Thank you for watching, and I hope that this video helped you out in any way. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like. It'll really help me out. If you didn't like it, you can leave a comment as well, giving some feedback. If you have any other comments or questions, please leave them in the comments as well, and I'll do my best to answer them. I usually respond to comments within 24 to 48 hours, depending on your question and depending on how busy I am. I have plenty of other content on my channel about different software tutorials and how-to videos, so if you're interested in that type of stuff, check it out. And if you like what you're seeing, you can subscribe too. Really appreciate it. You can also check out my other channels and social media as shown on the screen right now. And with that, thank you so much, everyone. And this is GSmaniamsmart, and I'll be back sooner than you think. Don't go anywhere.